My darlings, this is how a bustle dress comes to life. This is the behind the scenes nonsense. I'm sort of preparing, making my foundation skirt and the overskirt. It's a lot of big pieces of black fabric, so not very exciting, but I was excited about this part because it's pleats and I love pleats. I adore pleats so much. I mean, adore is a strong word for the process of making pleats, but I do appreciate some of the accuracy I get with pin marking, and the mad science of it all is very satisfying. It appeals to my sense of symmetry and suffering. And here I am, because more trim is always great for Victoriana, for any sort of bustle dress. If you're not creating scads of trim, what are you doing? And also miters, because mitered corners apparently to me say Starfleet, and I spent a lot of time making so many mitered corners. I just kept working on them. Why have one mitered corner when I can have 5 million mitered corners? Here I am, more miters, and now we're sewing them in place. This is a double layer of bias that I prepared, and another mitered corner. Look at that, sewing that mitered corner, really going to town, coming around to yet another little mitered corner moment, because when in doubt, miters. And here's Monsieur Gâteau, because a cat break is always perfect. And now we return to our miters, because miters were the theme of this project. Very clearly, I could not get enough mitered corners. I will be happy not to see them for a while, however. And here I am singing to myself, probably, or chatting along to the shop cats, because I'm absolutely losing what remains of my sanity at this juncture. One too many mitered corners. Now here's the trick for Victoriana. When in doubt, add trim on top of your trim, especially trim on top of those beautifully organized mitered corners, so no one can see the miters. Just cover them with trim. Cover everything with trim. If you're not adding trim on your trim, are you even making a bustle dress? I don't know. I feel like perhaps you're not. Perhaps you have made better life choices than I have. Here's more trim. We're adding a little bit of micro piping. I love a little piping on my cuffs. Now, my sewing machine does not love what I've been doing to it. It had a little crease, a little existential crisis, if you will. I needed to speak strongly to it, brush it out, oil it, spend some quality time with the bobbin carriage, beg in some instances, but we're back to the piping, so all worked out. Very successful. Look at that lovely little bit of piping. I love some piping. And a bit of gold gimp braid, because really braid to me says Starfleet Command. I'm not certain that Starfleet Command wants me, but I want to join Starfleet Command. Now, I love this because I'm sewing with my little mitts on, and mitts always make me feel a bit like a heroine from a Gothic romance, or, a Victorian urchin. In this case, I was really channeling a little bit of my Charlotte Bronte, although I'm fairly certain that Jane Eyre would despair of my life choices. That's all right, I despair of her life choices. What I don't despair of, however, is points. I love to get a nice sharp point, and also to do a little bit of grading and pressing to make certain my cuff is really nice and tailored and sharp, and that piping really pops. Cuffs and I have a torrid relationship. They don't always agree with me, and they don't always want to do my bidding, but a little grading, a little clapping, a little making it my butler over here with the tailor's ham, and that cuff is nice and sharp and ready for attachment. I was very happy with the cuffs on this bodice. I thought that they picked up the Starfleet vibe, as well as just actually going on nicely, which is such a rare treat for me. Normally cuffs make me cry on the regular, and I always despair a little bit, but this one, look at it, it's so sharp, it's so nice. Very, very pleased with it. And all that trim, and here she is. Here is the dress, and here and am I, ready for Starfleet, ready to pour tea and support the Prime Directive, and get up to a little bit of strange adventure. Cheers.